Hello, everyone. Hello. So I think you all know who I am, but just if you don't, my name is Daniel, and I look after the Catechesis, as Father said. And Catechesis means to echo the faith. So you continue echoing the faith to different groups. So I look after quite a few groups. I was just making a list of all of them here. And I think the list would probably take an hour to go through, so I won't cover all of them, but just, I suppose, a few things briefly. It's good to share the good news of what's happening in the parish, because very often what goes on in the parish isn't always seen. So this is a really good opportunity to share some of those things. And actually, I think quite a few people here are involved with different things. Helene is involved with First Holy Communion. And I think Ibby, we've got here, is involved with First Holy Communion as well. Patrick's involved with RCA. Deacon Ian's involved with First Holy Communion, just to mention a few. But there's a huge amount of volunteers and adults, adult leaders, and then teenage helpers who help across the board to bring things to life. So it's not possible just with one person, or even just with a small team. You need a lot of people to bring things to life. But I look after the baptism, marriage preparation as well, baptism preparation, marriage preparation, other little things as well here and there. But I suppose the two biggest things are First Holy Communion and confirmation. So First Holy Communion, as Father said, has changed quite a lot. But we have 75-ish children at the moment, which is, the number normally stays around about that amount. But it's in a good place. It can always be better as time goes on, but I think it's in a good place. But we have 17 leaders that are involved with that. And even just to get that off the ground is a lot of work with other people. So, for example, Makalita and Mary Helene are safeguarding representatives, and Jim in the past. Trying to get all of them DBS checked is a big feat, to try and get 17 of them. And that's just for First Holy Communion. But the thing I wanted to spend a bit more time on is the youth group. So in the past, we've had a confirmation preparation, which has been about, I say, 40, 45, 50 people, teenagers, who go through that. And it's a year long, and you have a number of volunteers that help with that. But I had this idea alongside other people of making it wider, because what happens is people sign up for September, and then by June they're confirmed, and then we don't see them again. So there's nothing really to capture them and hold them, if you like. So I thought we'd come up with this idea of a youth group, which would be 11-year-olds up to 16-year-olds. And those who are between 11 and 13, they could come along and be a part of it. So they engage with all the materials, all the sessions together. And then for after confirmation, those who are faithful, they're available, they're enthusiastic, full of the joy of the faith, they'd be invited then to be helpers. And what that's done is it's completely changed the dynamic. So in the past, we would have, let's say 60 teenagers, part of confirmation, and say 40 of them didn't want to be there. Okay, they're there because their parents want them to go. So 2/3, the overwhelming amount, majority. But now with the youth group, we have, as Father said, 30 leaders and helpers. There's actually more. So there's about 25 adult leaders. Some of them aren't active yet, but say 22 adult leaders, and then another 22 helpers who are between the age of 14 and 17. But then there's another 90 youngsters. So we've gone from having, say, 40 that don't want to be there. But, okay, they're still there. They're still coming, 40. But then another 60, 70, my maths on the spot isn't so good, but 60, 70, 80 maybe, all together with the adults, the volunteers, and the other youngsters who want to be there and are engaging with the youth group. And it's completely changed the dynamic. So before this, in the room here, we had a planning meeting with 40 people in the room, adults and volunteers. And the ideas that they have, a real prompting of the Holy Spirit, so many ideas that they're sharing about games and how to engage the youngsters and how to do more, how to like dream big and go trips to Europe. So, Father, we're going to be fundraising for that maybe. Trips to maybe go to Europe and go and see other youngsters living out the Catholic faith, to give them a different dynamic. So it's not just the faith here, it's the faith across the country, and it's the faith across, spread out across the world, that we want to give them a flavour of the joy of that and the excitement that is there with the faith. And it's something that's up to this stage we haven't really planned it, and the sessions have really been a bit informal. But over time, then it starts to settle into a routine and a rhythm, and you see it bearing fruit. Most especially, I think, in the helpers, you already see like 20 of them taking, stepping up and taking responsibility for their faith and for the group, and so it's been a rather wonderful thing. And there's loads involved with that. We all have clothing, so this is actually part of the youth group. I have the coolest item, but it's the youth group hoodie, and the youth group's called Abbey 73. So extra points if anyone can guess what the 73 refers to. Father gave a good hint when he said that we're a Benedictine parish. So it relates to the rule of life. There are 73 chapters in St. Benedict's rule of life. So that's why we have 73 as the number. And there's another 73. In the Bible, there are 73 books in the Bible. So there we are. We should all know that. You should all know that. You'll be tested on that at the end. But yeah, that's the life of the parish. I think there's a short time for questions later if you want to ask anything. But yeah, that's an overall summary of